Students, today's class is on electron microscopes. So let us discuss about electron. So electron microscope definition. An electron microscope is a microscope that uses a beam of accelerated electrons as a source of illumination. Accelerated electrons as a source of illumination. It is a special type of microscopes having a high resolution of images, able to magnify objects in nanometers, which are formed by controlled use of electrons in vacuum captured on a fluorescent screen. So fluorescent screen is capturing and electron movements is on the vacuum. Then this electron microscope is discovered by Ernst Ruska in 1931. So in 1931, German engineer Ruska discovered this electron microscopes. Is a academic professor, and the same principles behind his prototype still governs modern electron microscopes. Electron microscopes image you can see. Next is working principle of electron microscope. Electron microscopes use signals arising from the interaction of an electron beam with the sample. Electron beam with the sample to obtain information about structure, morphology and composition. So electron microscopes using the electrons interacting with the sample to obtain the structure, morphology and composition. The electron gun generates electrons. So here electron gun is going to generate electrons. Two sets of condenser lenses focus the electron beam on the specimen. So two types of condenser will be there, and then into a thin tight beam. To move electrons down the column, an accelerating voltage mostly between 100 kilovolts to 1000 kilovolts. So accelerated voltage will be applied to move the electrons. Is applied between tungsten filament and anode. So tungsten filament and anode will be there. In between the tungsten filament and anode, the electrons are moving accelerated by using the voltage 100 kilovolt to 1000 kilovolts. The specimen to be examined is made extremely thin, at least 200 times thinner than those used in the optical microscope. That means whatever the compound microscopes you are using, compared to that 200 times thin section we should use. Ultra thin sections of 20 to 100 nanometer are cut, which is already placed on the specimen holder. So specimen holder we are placing. The electron beam passes through the specimen and electrons are scattered depending upon the thickness or refractive index of different parts of the specimen. So different areas of the specimen will be having different thickness, so refractive index changes. The denser regions in the specimen scatter more electrons, so scattering will be more if the denser is the specimen is dark in nature, and therefore appear darker in image since fewer electrons strike that area of the screen. In contrast, transparent regions are brighter, so transparent regions appear brighter in the computer, whereas the darker regions will appear dark. Denser region will appear dark. The electron beam coming out of the specimen passes to the objective lens, which has high power. So the electron beam coming from the specimen passes to the objective lens, which has high power and forms the intermediate magnified image. So it will produce the intermediate magnified image by the objective lens. The ocular lenses then produce the final further magnified image. So ocular lenses will produce the final magnified image. Next slide. Electron microscopes. So types of electron microscope. There are two types of electron microscopes with a different operating styles. One is a transmission electron microscope. So transmission electron microscope. The transmission electron microscope is used to view thin specimens through which electrons can pass, generating a projection image. So here to the small thin section space electrons is passing, and that passed electrons will be scattered on the detector. Transmission electron microscope is analogous. That means analogous means similar in many ways to the conventional compound light microscope. So transmission electron microscopes will be similar to the compound light microscope. Transmission electron microscope is used among other things to image the interior of cells in thin sections. So thin sections we can see the interior of cells, that means mitochondria, other cells, ribosomes, everything we can see. The structure of protein molecules, contrasting the metal shadowing. So metal shadowing method we can detect the structure of protein molecules, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional protein structures. The organization of molecules in viruses and cytoskeletal filaments. So how the organelles are organized in the virus and cytoskeletal filaments, prepared by negative staining technique. So negative staining technique is the method used to detect the virus's organization inside the virus, what is there, and cytoskeletal filaments. And the arrangement of protein molecules in cell membranes by freeze fracture. So by freeze fracture technique we can see the protein arrangement in cell membrane. So you can see here for different procedures, thin sections are used for the interior of cells seeing, protein structures by the metal shadowing method, then negative staining technique for the virus and cytoskeletal filaments organization. Freeze fracture method is for the arrangement of protein molecules in cell membranes. Students, today's class is on electron microscopes. So let us discuss about electron microscopes. Then parts of electron microscope. So electron microscope is in the form of tall vacuum column which is vertically mounted. It has the following components. 4 components major: electron gun, electromagnetic lenses, specimen holder, image viewing and recording system. So first one, electron gun. Electron gun is a heated tungsten filament which generates electrons. Tungsten filament heated generates electrons. Second part, electromagnetic lenses. Condenser lens focuses the electron beam on the specimen. A second lens, condenser lens, forms the electron into a thin tight beam. So two lenses, condenser lens, that is primary condenser lens, secondary condenser lens. So secondary condenser lens will form the thin light beam of electrons. Then the electron beam coming out of the specimen passes down the second of magnetic coils called the objective lenses. So magnetic coils will be there, that is objective lens, which has high power and forms the intermediate magnified image. So intermediate magnified image is formed by the magnetic coils which are called as a objective lens. The third set of magnetic lens called projector ocular lenses. So magnetic lenses third set is called projector lenses or ocular lenses, produce the final further magnified image. Each of these lenses acts as an image magnifier level of detail and resolution. So due to high magnification and high resolution due to these lenses, so 3 sets of magnifying lenses, magnetic lenses will be there: condenser lens, objective lens, projector lens. Then third part is specimen holder. The specimen holder is an extremely thin film of carbon or collodion held by a metal grid. So the specimen holder is extremely thin film of carbon or collodion held by a magnet grid. So magnetic holder stage. Image viewing and recording system. The final image is projected on a fluorescent screen. Below the fluorescent screen is a camera for recording the image. So fluorescent screen will be there. In that one final image will be projected. Again there will be a camera for recording that fluorescent screen. Then scanning electron microscope, you can see here how image is there, electron gun is there, electron beam, anode, then magnetic lenses, 2 magnetic lenses, then back scattered electron detector, then specimen is there. So here they placed on insect specimen. After these electrons falls on a insect, they are reflected So that secondary electrons, reflected electrons, are called as secondary electrons. So that secondary electrons will be detected, and stage is a magnetic stage holding that insect. So secondary electron detector is there. So these are the secondary electrons are scattered. So scanning electron microscope, SEM, scattered electrons will be captured and image will be drawn. Then transmission electron microscope, TEM, electron gun, anode, condenser lens, specimen, objective aperture lens, then intermediate lens, then projector lens. So here see objective aperture lens, intermediate lens and projector lens. Then fluorescent screen. So here fluorescent screen is capturing the image. So that means specimen, through the specimen the electrons are moving, and after that they are passing through the different three lenses, objective, intermediate and projector lens, then fluorescent screen will capture. So transmitted electrons through the specimen are identified and the image will be drawn. Then applications of electron microscope, advantages and limitations. So applications, electron microscopes are used to investigate the ultrastructure of a wide range of biological and inorganic specimens, including microorganisms, cells, plant cells and animal cells, then large molecules, biopsy samples, metals and crystals. So for this, all this ultrastructure determination they are using. Then industrial electron microscopes are often used for quality control and failure analysis. So anything failure is there, quality control procedure is there, for that one they will use. Modern electron microscopes produce electron micrographs using specialized digital cameras and frame grabbers to capture the images. Science of microbiology owes its development to the electron microscope. So due to the development of electron microscope, microbiology is developed. Study of microorganisms like bacteria, virus and other pathogens have made the treatment of diseases very effective. Advantages: very high magnification, incredibly high resolution. Second point is material rarely distorted by preparation. Third point is it is possible to investigate a greater depth of field. Then diverse applications. Then limitations: the live specimen cannot be observed. As the penetration power of the electron beam is very low, the object should be very ultra thin. For this, the specimen is dried and cut into ultra thin sections before observation. So before observations, ultra thin sections cutting is very important. As the electron microscope works in a vacuum, the specimen should be completely dry. So it is working in a vacuum, so specimen should be dry, there should not be any moisture. Expensive to build and maintain, requiring researcher training. So the person who is operating should have a high knowledge and experience in research. Image artifacts resulting from specimen preparation. So images are generated and manipulated resulting from specimen preparation. This type of microscope is a large, cumbersome, extremely sensitive to vibrations and external magnetic fields. So there should not be any other magnetic chambers nearby, since it is a large instrument with vacuum and electromagnetic field will be used here, magnetic field. So there should not be any other electromagnetic vibrations near to damage this electron microscope. Thank you.